Hello, my friends. I'm Tamara Zoner, and it's Wednesday. Time for 5 minutes for you. What I've realized is that we cannot be happy with or around, if we're around them a lot, unhappy people. So today I thought that we would take a few minutes, just 5, to talk about one of the pillars of happiness. And it's not actually the pillar, it's actually the foundation. Before we can build on anything, we need to have a strong foundation, and that includes our happiness. So, our happiness is our responsibility. That's the foundation. That is the first piece of being happy for no reason or creating greater happiness in your life. We have to build that strong foundation and start showing up in this world as our own hero, as the victor of our experience. And so today, for your 5 minutes for you, I'm going to give you an exercise that I have seen help multiple people, many people now, to take more responsibility for their lives and for their happiness. Because as long as I'm expecting what's out there, whether it's people or things or jobs or the weather, to make me happy, I won't be happy. Not until I decide to make me happy and then live from happiness as an internal state instead of living for happiness in the external. So one of the first practices that I teach in my How to Be Happy for No Reason courses is this exercise of becoming more aware of where you are complaining, shaming, or blaming. And so here's what I invite you to do today. Get a timer or use your phone and set it for 1 minute, and either write or just say out loud for yourself, something I complain about is, and fill in the blank as much as you can for that full minute. Maybe if you're writing, take 2 minutes because writing takes longer than speaking. You know what complaining is, so I don't really need to describe what that means. You've heard it before. We complain about the weather, the politics, the COVID, the clothes we have, the resources we have, the people in our lives. We complain all the time. Even I complain about the cold and other things. So just becoming aware of what you're complaining about can help you to curb the complaints. Next, I want you to consider blaming. And the sentence you'll complete is something that I blame is. So we can complain about the weather, but we would blame Mother Nature, okay? So, or we would blame a past experience or a person in our lives for causing our unhappiness. And a lot of people do that with the government or with COVID. If only this would go away, then I'd be happy. It doesn't work that way, and so become more aware of what you're blaming for your unhappiness. Okay, so 1 minute verbally or 2 minutes writing something I blame is. Next, we want to look at shame. Shame is internalized blame. So blaming ourselves, that inner bully, that inner critic. And again, you will complete the sentence for 1 minute verbally or 2 minutes in writing. Something I shame myself for is ... Fill in the blank. Now, shame can look, what I see a lot in the senior communities that I work with is shaming themselves for their bodies not working the way they used to, or their minds. Oh, I'm so stupid because I can't remember people's names. Nobody can. We have to work at that. We shame ourselves for things that don't deserve our own blame or shame all the time. So take some time to look at where you're shaming yourself and write it down to become more aware, or say it out loud for a minute. Something I'm shaming myself for. If you're a parent, like me, you might shame yourself for imperfect parenting, and that can bring up even more. So the practice here is not to make you feel bad about how you complain or blame or shame. The process is becoming more aware of where you are giving away your power and your happiness. The final step, and all of this should take about 5 minutes, is to complete this sentence. If I were to take a little more responsibility for my happiness, I would ... fill in the blank. So that might look like, if I were to take a little more responsibility for my happiness, I would wake up 15 minutes early so that I don't have to rush, or I can exercise, or I can have my cup of coffee in peace. If I were to take a little more responsibility for my happiness, I would practice self-compassion and forgive myself on a regular basis. You could use Ho'oponopono for that, or EFT, two great tools for self-forgiveness and self-compassion. And so look at your life and what you've written down or said that you complain, blame, or shame in your life, and apply this how I could take more responsibility for my happiness to some of those specific things, so that then you leave with an action plan, tangible action that you can take. 2, take more responsibility for your happiness and therefore create more of it in your life because you deserve it. You are worthy of happiness. You were put here on this earth for a reason, and that reason was not to suffer. That reason was to live and learn and love your life. This is one step in creating a life you love. And so I hope you'll take it and share in the comments below what this experience was like for you after you've done it, or what you think about all of this. You know, I just love to read your comments and really feel like we're a community here, because that is what I'm trying to build. And you can help me by sharing this video, liking this video, subscribing if you haven't already, and coming back again for the next one. I am Tamara Zoner. I appreciate you, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you.